Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News on 3FM 92.7. My name is Beatrice Edu. The news is also live on Kesme 107.1 FM and across the world at 3news.com. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Ghana Police Service calls for more public support as it intensifies anti-Galamsey fight across the country, which has led to many arrests and seizure of equipment. We'll bring you more. Also coming up on the program, following a public uproar, Ghana Union of Traders Associations GUTA assures prices of goods and services will reduce in the coming weeks due to persistent appreciation in the value of the cedi. And much later on the program, over 20,000 rotational nurses and midwives give government a 14-day ultimatum to pay out their service allowances, which have been in debt for nearly a year. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Now, the Ghana Police Service continues in its fight against illegal mining activities across the country from March 2025 to date. The service has conducted a series of anti-Galamsey operations in various communities affected by illegal mining activities. In a special anti-Galamsey operations at Samreboy along the Tano River, Wasa Dunkwao, and surrounding communities in the western region, the police has so far arrested 58 suspects comprising 50 Ghanaians and 8 Chinese in connection with illegal mining activities and retrieved some 85 excavators and 3 bulldozers. Similar anti-Galamsey operations have been carried out by various regional police commands across the country as follows. In the western region, the police there have arrested 19 suspects and retrieved 3 excavators and 3 pump-action guns, among other exhibits. The Upper West Regional Police Command has also arrested 7 Ghanaian suspects and retrieved 11 shangfangs and 3 motorbikes, among other exhibits. In Eastern South, the Regional Police Command there has arrested 24 suspects, including 1 Burkinabe, and retrieved 5 excavators, 3 single-barrel guns, and 1 pump-action gun, among other exhibits. And also in the Western Central region, the police there has arrested 85 suspects comprising 76 Ghanaians and 9 Chinese, and also retrieved some 11 excavators and other exhibits. In all, a total of 208 suspects have been arrested, and 99 excavators, 3 bulldozers, 4 pump-action guns, 3 single-barrel guns, 1 pistol, 11 shangfans, together with several other exhibits, including vehicles, motorbikes, tricycles, generators, gold detectors, and pumping machines have been retrieved by the police. All the suspects are being taken through the due processes of the law, and the Ghana Police Service is also assuring the public of its commitment to fighting illegal mining and preserving the country's natural resources. Let's get a quick word from Obed Owusu, who is with EcoCare Ghana and a member of the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, good afternoon, Beatrice. Thank you for having me.
We've seen this type of arrest in the past, indeed, under the NDC administration, yet illegal mining continued. How differently do you see these latest arrests this time around?
Well, thank you. And maybe to start off, we would want to put on record that it is a breath of fresh air to see that the Ghana Police Service are doing coordinated actions on illegal mining, and they are giving updates. They are reporting on it, and they are updating the population. Like we've always said, for us to be effective in the fight against illegal mining, actions and activities need to be coordinated. And that is where we see that the coordination is not happening. There needs to be coordination between the police, between the military, and other security services. But that is not happening. Aside that, we see that it is, indeed there are some actions that are happening, but the coordination is still not there. That is where the problem still exists.
So was the coordination the problem under the Eswal MPP administration, which is why we still saw these activities irrespective of the arrests that were made?
Well, it was a combination of issues. I don't want to politicize and make it MPP NDC. But what I want to say is, in the previous era, what we saw was that there wasn't enough proactiveness. Authorities were not taking actions that were needed. For example, some of these raids, some of these public discussions were happening, but the presidency, the Ministry of Interior, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources were not really taking actions on the ground. That has changed. But the coordination bit is still a problem. Even with the new government, we still see that there isn't a coordination. That is why we have been calling for a state of emergency. When you declare a state of emergency on a particular activity, it helps you to coordinate actions from all the security agencies to be able to tackle that issue. That is still outstanding.
That is still outstanding, you say. Again, one of the main problems people talk about when it comes to our failure to nip this problem in the bud is that we are arresting the small fishes and leaving the individuals who are behind these people we find on the field. How do we tackle that as well?
Well, Beatrice, you have hit the nail right on the head. That is where the problem is. I see the numbers, over 280 people arrested. Maybe the question we should ask is, how many of them are in court? How many are being prosecuted? And you realize that they are making arrests, but it's not going to the court. They are not being prosecuted. And even if they are being prosecuted, you realize that it's the small fishes, as you call it, that are being prosecuted. But the kingpins behind these people, whom we all know, we know the politicians and the political activists that are behind it, they are not facing the rule of law. They are not being apprehended. So that is where there still exists a problem. And this government, even though they are taking action, the action doesn't seem to go deep enough to address some of these fundamental problems. We know the problem, just that we have always failed to address the problem by doing what is needful, and they are still failing to do what is needful.
Beyond this is also the matter of regulation, and wanted to find out from you really how you think, how soon really the government should be looking at ensuring the process of getting license for small-scale mining is made easier, and the review of Minerals and Mining Act as well, the Act 2, 703/2006.
Well, on the front of regulation, maybe to start off, we want to commend the president for adhering to the promises that he made, that he will revoke the LI 2462, which for us is one of the most disgraceful laws ever made in Ghana.
Okay, but forgive me for interrupting. You know, as we speak right now, the direction is not to revoke, it's to review certain portions of it. And we've had Awola Sewa, for instance, really raising issues about the fact that this is not really what we were promised.
No, the last we heard about it was that the government has decided. We heard it from the spokesperson for the president, who said the president has decided to revoke. They are not amending, or they are not reviewing portions. They are revoking the whole law, and they are going to draft or write a new one. That is the latest news we have. As late as last week, when there was a stakeholders meeting in Sunyane, and they made that promise. So maybe you, as the media, you can go and cross-check that fact.
Yeah, so please go ahead with your point. Yes, sir.
Excellent. So having said that, for us, the laws in the country are good enough. The problem is that the enforcement of the law became a problem. You know, the Forestry Commission, the Minerals Commission, and all the agencies that were supposed to coordinate to ensure the implementation of the Minerals and Mining Act and other legislation, they were not coordinated, they were not working together. And that is what created this influx of illegal mining and all that. So if we can begin to work together, we can begin to find commonality in addressing the problem, I think we'll be doing ourselves a lot of good. It's not about making laws. It's not about having so many laws. It's about enforcing the laws, and that is where the problem has always been. Ghana, we have enough laws within the system, but they are not enforcing it. So it's enforcement that we need to be stressing on.
We'll have to end it here. Thank you so much, and that was Obed Owusu. He is with Ikoka Ghana and a member of the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey. Thank you so much for sharing your views with us. Now, the Ghana Union of Traders Associations, GUTA, and the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, have assured of a reduction in prices of goods and services in the upcoming weeks due to the persistent appreciation in the value of the cedi against major foreign currencies. The business community gave the assurance at a meeting with the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofuswejare. George Quaining sat in the meeting and came through with this report.
It's an undeniable fact that the cedi has made some gains and appreciating against other major trading currencies. Data from the Bank of Ghana shows that the cedi strengthened from 15 cedis, 53 pesos to 13 cedis, 9 pesos per dollar on the buying rate between March 12 and May 12, 2025, while the selling rate improved from 15 cedis, 55 pesos to 13 cedis, 10 pesos. In relation to this, the Minister of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofuswejare, has met with business players on possible ways to have a corresponding relation on prices of goods and services. According to the sector minister, direct importers are ready to reduce prices for retailers. Take a listen to the minister.
We hope that the cedi will keep doing well. We hope that all the indicators will even improve. And they are happy to let the general public and consumers take a benefit of the stabilized economy. The government has created an enabling environment for their businesses to thrive. And it is fair that they transfer part of the dividends to the customers, because we are all working together as a country so that the cost of living will reduce. I am happy that they have explained their bit to me and my team. We also explained ours to them, and this is the consensus. I think it is positive. Dialogue is the way to go in this kind of economic environment that we find ourselves.
In the next 60 days, expect to see reduction in the prices of goods and services, and this is the assurance given by the business community.
The market forces will determine the prices, and it will respond positively. We are in a highly competitive market. Most importers have started getting benefits of this, and most of them have started showing and sharing the benefit to the consuming public. You just have to search the market and you'll find this. But all that we need is for government to do its work, do whatever it is to sustain this, and by 2 months' time, everybody in the country will witness the fact that the business community also think about the consuming public. We depend on our customers, the consuming public, to survive as businesses. And there's no way we will not share any gains when we have it. When we have it, we will share with you. And so all that we are all talking about is sustainability and predictability. And that's a game.
And you heard the president of GUTA ending that report by George Quaining. But as the mother bodies give these assurances, traders in the central region are divided over these recent calls by GUTA and a section of consumers to reduce the prices of goods. Thomas Khan is our correspondent in the central region. He joins us live from Cape Coast. Thomas, I know you've visited some markets where you are. Just take us through what they are telling you and the reactions coming through.
So the traders, like you rightly said, are divided over this call made by the GUTA and a section of the public. For some, they think that their prices coming from their suppliers remain the same. So it is very difficult for them to reduce prices for their consumers. And again, there are some who also fairly agree with GUTA to reduce their prices. For instance, some of them claim that some of the goods that they sell are locally manufactured, so the prices remain the same. Others also say their goods are imported, so they see no reason why they should reduce the prices when where the source they get the goods from have not reduced their prices. So fairly, they are saying that the appreciation of the cedi against the dollar has not really had a major impact. For instance, this shop that sells rice oil and other tomato paste. For instance, they said that they reduced some of their prices. For instance, oil that was selling for 780 cedis has been reduced to about 760 cedis. So fairly about 10 cedis has been reduced from the price. And Beatrice, we can listen to some of what the traders have been sharing.
If I be to force, before Cantamanto, some say dollar number from dollar near at the above from. And so, your quite price now said you're turning that and the sun, you're turning. It's the answer to me, they said you're turning the sun, it's the to me, your dentist. So, I am a comatis for mine, yeah. Okay, bet me, I didn't so. The price now said the $9 was wrong. You're quite on the side, pepe, no, with my own tears. So, into a tear, so I didn't say, yes.
Just a DPR sign.
Prices of goods have not changed. As I told you from the onset, prices of goods have not changed because right now, if I may say and say it well now, you can see that the government is now not paying contractors as at now. And because of that, there's no pressure on our cedi or the dollar. Assuming he's paying contractors another now. And he will have to use plenty money to pay people. But since he's not doing that, there's no pressure on the dollar.
What to focus on the prices of?
I'm saying that the prices of goods have not changed. Prices of goods have not changed. But we only have to thank God that at least it has remained stable. The tomatoes and other things that we all know, the foodstuffs, that we all know that at least around this time, the price is usually like that. But since they were using it for campaign, we have to also use it when we are talking. Now, tomato for 40 cedis. They are just 4, and it's 40 cedis. So with this, meanwhile, now it was 10 cedis. So 20 cedis has been added, 10 cedis has been added. So prices have not changed.
And you heard some traders at Cape Coast Market in the Central Region. Earlier, you heard our correspondent, Thomas Khan, bring us an update from there. Very shortly, we'll be crossing over to the National Security Secretariat, where the agency is organizing and about to start a press conference to update Ghanaians on the arrest of some foreign nationals engaged in gold smuggling. We'll be bringing you more. Don't go away.
Ghana, it's a new year and Bills Microcredit is here to support your dreams. If you're not working but want to start a business, don't let money stop you. With just your Ghana card, you can get a loan to turn your ideas into reality. Already running a business? Need more capital? Or are you a salary worker looking for extra funds? Bills offers fast and easy loans with no collateral, no deposit, and no SUSI savings required. Wherever you are, whatever you need, Bills makes it happen. Call Bills Microcredit today. Call 0596-920-833 or 0302-200-390 and get started. Bills is licensed and regulated by the Bank of Ghana. Bills, financing your needs. Terms and conditions apply.
Freezer, get the abba. Adama for the abba. Freezer. Adama. Adama, Metimoso, my sorry. Canino, Obo Moasia. I do for Nobium Unum and Sanas and 9. I don't know what we do. Adama for you from what we say. Yet you drew back up a ship will be a high technology. I could for freezer. When Kwan and once open your 15 letters. No fugum, what you are not fugum. What the bus here for your being what you have you. I could say, over Timono. No more sure say, woman shown Tassia. No more send up for now. Freezer, power up a day. Freezer,
Tassia, a bastion do so among Ammoniaji.
To me, Miwasika, to me, but you may not do some doom. Adama, without Adama, no queer. Adama, you can't resist.
Ubenya Adama West Africa for a dream, or baby bear a tongue cry on you. I say, Kayona Kinka in Choya, a dream.
Yes, so here on the midday news on 3FM and 92.7. Now, over 20,000 rotational nurses and midwives nationwide are crying out after nearly a year without the service allowances. With 5 lives already lost and 6 more hanging in the balance, they say enough is enough. They are giving the authorities 14 working days to act or face a deeper crisis. Safwa Boahene is with them. She joins us live on the phone. Safwa, just bring us up to speed as regards what's happening with these professionals.
Yes, thank you, Patriot, and a very good afternoon to all our listeners. I am very saddened this morning because it is kind of a very emotional pressure that was held by the Rotational Nurses and Midwives Association to their abode. And they have been talking about the fact that for the past 12 months, they have been able to do their mandatory national service, yet they haven't been given what is due them, which is their allowances, service allowances, an amount of about 815 Ghana cedis that is supposed to be paid to them every month, has not been paid for the past 12 months. And they tell me that this is not the first time it has happened. For the past 4 years, their past cohorts from 2020, they're about up to now. Some of them even last year or last 2 years have not received their allowances. And the president for both cohorts, 2024-2025 and 2023-2024, also spoke, and they told me the same thing. And this has resulted in some of the students or some of the national service personnel dying or passing away, some in critical conditions because they do not have the funds and the money to support themselves in terms of feeding, in terms of transport. Some, we were told, had to be knocked out by a car in their attempt of trying to get transportation to the office, since they want to always be at work, yet they don't have the means and the money to do so. A particular female, which is the General Secretary, Mavis, also spoke to me, and she mentioned about the issues that the female particularly are forced to be in because of this situation of unpaid allowances to them. They have to engage in some proposals, getting some men to support them with their financial needs because they need to work or engage in certain activities to give them money to be able to fend for themselves while they go to school. And it has been a very critical issue for all of them. And so they are calling upon the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Finance, Ghana Health Service. Apparently, petitions have been sent to all of these and all of these ministries and these authorities, yet they haven't had or heard anything from them. And from some, they said managers have got in touch with them that they will do the needful, yet they do not receive any response. And they particularly mentioned that last year, April 2024, Mr. George, Honorable George Patriot, now the Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment, spoke about the fact that it is unfair for them to be treated that way, and yet he has now become the Minister for the Youth, and yet they've written to him and no response has come in, and they haven't also been able to attend to them. So they are crying out that about 20,000 of these health professionals or health and national service personnel who have been posted to different areas across the country, not something that is coming from them. And therefore they have to hire a place to stay, that is rent. They have to buy food for themselves. They have to take transport. All of this, they are not getting money that is due them to be able to do that.
Midwives Association, JRNMP, comprising of general nurses, midwives, public health nurses, and mental health nurses, who have successfully completed the NMC licensing examination and are currently undertaking our mandatory national service. We've convened this press engagement to express our deep concern and frustration over the persistent and unacceptable delays in the disbursement of our service allowances. This issue has remained unresolved for the past 4 years, affecting thousands of dedicated professionals. Our association represents 40,000 service personnel nationwide. The current 2024-2025 cohort alone includes over 20,000 personnel, with projections indicating that the 2025-2026 cohorts may exceed 15,000 personnel.
And that was a representative of the nurses and midwives there. Earlier you heard our reporter Safwa Buahini. Now the Health Minister Kwabena Minta Kando has bemoaned the poor maintenance culture exhibited at some health facilities across the country. The minister, who was at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital to inspect the maternity and surgical blocks following reports he had received, encouraged management of the facility to make the environment safer. Sarah Pinko is with our health desk. She joins us live on the line. Sarah, tell us more of what the minister has been saying.
Hi, Beatrice. Rightly said, the minister has been at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital maternity block as well as the surgical block as we speak. He engaged briefly with some management members, and it appears that there are plans to already resolve some of the concerns that he's raising. Work is ongoing at some sections. He was at the maternity wards. He went to inspect the elevators, which we already know had been one of the topical issues in the media about the Kolebu Teaching Hospital and the deteriorating state of some of the departments. So he went to cross-check. He looked at the washrooms. He was not so happy about their state. Most of the wards did not also have nets. They were using louvers. And we were picking information that, the Mother's Day on Sunday, the First Lady was at the maternity ward to meet some of the mothers there, and she came back with a concern about how the minister had to go there and ensure that the place is made safer for the mothers. So basically, he had looked at the place. He was impressed with some of the clean nature of some aspects, but also raised some concerns, which after speaking to the media, he made us known that management already said it was in their plan, and they are going to see that it is done in due course.
Kolebu Teaching Hospital is our premier referral center. It is dear to the heart of every Ghanaian. As we have all seen, it is not in the best of shapes. So today, I decided to pay a working visit here to have first-hand information as to what is going on. I've received a lot of complaints from the public, so I decided to come and see for myself and then have some meetings with the management, and we all think through how we can solve the problem. That's the most important thing. The solution is the most important thing.
But
I'm happy to also add that some of these issues have already been identified and steps have been taken.
And you heard the Health Minister Kwabena Minta Kando earlier. You heard our reporter Sarah Pinko bring us update there. We'll bring you more on that later. But let's cross over now to the national security because we have actually the Gold Board addressing the arrest of some illegal gold dealers. Communications Officer Prince Minka is currently addressing the press. Let's go there and listen to what he's saying.
Trading within the local gold trading industry, which is now the sole reserve of the Gold Board, you will be made to face the law. So with this one, unlike the first batch, who have been given a grace or a pat on the back whilst warning them, they will be made to go back to their home country. But for the second batch, they will be made to go walk the mile. In fact, they'll face the full rigors of the law. So like we did with the initial one, they'll go to court, and then when a judgment is passed, what will follow will follow. So this is a warning to every foreigner in Ghana. The rules are simple. Local gold trading industry is the sole reserve of the Gold Board. If you're a foreigner and you want to trade, you want to offtake gold, the silver lining here is for you to write to the Gold Board an LOI, and then you come do a negotiation, and then we'll help ship the gold for you. And for the locals, for Ghanaians, you are expected to as well apply for any of our licenses so that you'll be able to have that full protection from the Gold Board when you embark on gold trading in the country. So, colleagues, we called you here just to announce an update of the first batch of Indians that were caught smuggling gold, flouting our laws, and indicating to you that because the arrest did not happen at the time of the deadline, we have allowed them to, we are repatriating them to their countries, to their country. And for those who were arrested recently, because it fell after the deadline, they decided not to yield to the warnings, in spite of the numerous warnings that we had issued out on all the media platforms. And I'm sure both local and international media carried out our warnings. So I was a bit surprised hearing that some foreigners had engaged in this illicit activity. So yes, for them, they will face the full rigors of the law, and unlike the first batch, they will not be repatriated. They will walk the mile, and we're in business. Thank you.
And you had that.
Questions?
And you had Prince Minka. He's a communications officer for the Gold Board, giving us updates on the arrest and what has to be done now in tandem with the Gold Board. We'll bring you more of this later in our subsequent bulletins. Michael Ogbodu is standing by with Business Daily. Don't go away.
And hello there, good afternoon, and welcome to Business Daily here on 3FM 92.7 with me, Michael Ogbodu. Coming up, Ghana Union of Traders Association GUTA agrees to reduce prices progressively over the next 60 days following a meeting with the Trade Minister.
Direct importers have agreed to reduce their prices, and some have already started that already. We've also heard from GUTA and AGI that it is good that the cedi has stabilized. They need a bit of time to let this reflect in their prices.
Meanwhile, more positive prospects for the local currency as financial economists projects marginal impact on cedi's depreciation as debt payments looms.
Even if the cedi takes a slight dip because we've started paying, this is as good a situation as we can expect. Remember that at the end of last year, we're really in a poor state.
Plus, Deputy Minister for Finance hints mid-year budget review to outline key fiscal strategies for Ghana's economic stability to reassure markets and address debt obligations. Details of these stories and many others coming up shortly. Please don't go anywhere. And thank you so much for your time. Straight into our top story. And the Ghana Union of Traders Associations, GUTA, has announced plans to gradually reduce prices of goods on the market over the next 60 days in response to the appreciation of the Ghanaian cedi against the US dollar. The local currency has strengthened from around 16 cedis to the dollar at the start of the year to approximately 12 Ghana cedis. Speaking at a stakeholder engagement on price reductions amid the cedi's rebound, the Minister for Trade, Industry and Agribusiness, Elizabeth Ofosu Ejari, commended the business community for its efforts to ease the burden on consumers.
Government does not have the power to control prices, but government has the power to negotiate with our stakeholders to ensure that traders, manufacturers, and consumers take advantage of an opportunity when it happens. I'm happy to inform you that the direct importers have agreed to reduce their prices, and some have already started that already. We've also heard from GUTA and AGI that it is good that the cedi has stabilized. They need a bit of time to let this reflect in their prices. It will happen gradually. The direct importers have started reducing their prices for the retailers, and this will be total when the old stock comes down. They are able to find an average from the new stock and the old stock, and prices will certainly go down. But this will be total in about 60 days.
So that was Minister of Trade, Industry and Agribusiness Elizabeth Ofosu-Ejari speaking. Meanwhile, President of the Ghana Union of Traders Associations, GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obeng, has emphasized the need for government to implement measures to sustain the gains made by the local currency. He said doing so would create the necessary stability for traders to confidently and consistently reduce prices on the market.
We are in a highly competitive market. Most importers have started getting benefits of this, and most of them have started showing and sharing the benefit to the consuming public. You just have to search the market and you'll find this. But all that we need is for government to do its work, do whatever it is to sustain this, and by 2 months' time, everybody in the country will witness the fact that the business community also think about the consuming public. We depend on our customers, the consuming public, to survive as businesses. And there's no way we will not share any gains when we have it. When we have it, we will share with you. And so all that we are all talking about is sustainability and predictability.
So that was President of the Ghana Union of Traders Associations, GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obeng, speaking. Now, in a related development, while the cedi is currently experiencing a rapid appreciation against the dollar, the sustainability of this trend will be tested as government begins to service its external debts in foreign currency. Chief Executive Officer of Blakk Finance, Joe Jackson, has indicated that despite the potential for a slight dip in the cedi's value when these payments commence, it will still represent a positive scenario for the economy. He cited the recent increase in Ghana's international reserves, rising from $6.2 billion in February 2023 to $9.4 billion in February 2024, is expected to mitigate the negative impact of these debt payments on the cedi.
The truth of the matter is that we will have to pay, right? Even if the cedi takes a slight dip because we've started paying, this is as good a situation as we can expect. Remember that at the end of last year, we're really in a poor state, right? And so right now, that's why we say we are in a stable outlook with a positive. It looks like with the reserves we have, we'll be able to pay them without damaging our economy too much. So things look relatively good, as good as we can expect at this stage of the recovery that we should be in.
CEO of Blakk Finance, Joe Jackson, speaking. Now, Deputy Minister for Finance has hinted that the upcoming 2025 media budget review will feature significant fiscal policy announcements aimed at bolstering confidence in Ghana's economy and addressing concerns surrounding mid-term debt sustainability. Dr. Nyako Ampem stated that the Finance Minister will utilize the review to unveil crucial measures designed to reassure investors and economic stakeholders of Ghana's dedication to macroeconomic stability. The following 3 Business News Desk report has the details.
According to the Deputy Minister of Finance, the 2025 media budget review will have a key focus of providing clarity on Ghana's capacity to meet its debt servicing obligations, particularly in the years 2027 and 2030. This, Nyako Ampem noted, is very important to further bring the confidence that is needed in the economy. The Deputy Minister's remarks follow a series of positive economic indicators for Ghana, including a notable appreciation of the cedi against the dollar, improved international reserve levels, and a recent upgrade in the country's sovereign credit rating by S&P Global Ratings. These macroeconomic improvements in enhancing Ghana's credibility among investors and rating agencies, citing S&P's recent move to upgrade Ghana from selective default to CCC+. The local currency, which had experienced downward pressure in recent months, has seen a significant recovery, trading at approximately 13 cedis to $1. This appreciation is largely attributed to robust foreign exchange inflows, driven by increased gold exports and a weakening dollar, partly due to